The Voice of the Rain is written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. A humanist, he was a part of the transition between transcendentalism and realism, incorporating both views in his works. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called the father of free verse. So let's move on to the poem. The Voice of the Rain is a poem that celebrates rain and its natural cycle for the benefit of earth and the life that it supports. The poem is in the form of a beautiful conversation between the poet and the rain. So now let's look at the poem. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, which strained to tell gave me an answer as here translated. So, what is this? This poem is a beautiful conversation between the rain and the poet. The poet and the rain are talking to each other. And who art thou? So, said I. So, I here represents the poet. So, what is he asking the rain? He is asking, who art thou? Art thou means are you. So, he is asking the rain, who are you? Said I to a soft falling shower. Shower here represents the rain. And how is it falling? It is falling very softly. So, when the rain is falling down very softly, the poet is asking the rain, who are you? Which strain to tell gave me an answer. And he's saying that it is very strange because the rain answered to his question. What is the question he asked? Who are you? And immediately the rain gave an answer. And as here translated means, this is what the rain answered. So, what did the rain answer? I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. So the voice of the rain is answering. What is the rain? What is the answer it gave? It said that it is the poem of the earth. So what does it mean by calling itself the poem of the earth? So that you will understand at the end of this poem. So let's look at the next answer. Eternal I rise, impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. So here the poet is talking about the beautiful rain and about the water cycle. You all must have learnt about the water cycle in your science classes. How the water races as vapor from the sea and goes up, forms clouds and comes back to the earth as rain. So this is what is explained here in a very beautiful language. So what is the rain telling? Eternal I rise. What is eternal? Forever. Every time I rise upwards. So the vapors form from the water bodies and they rise upwards towards the sky. I rise impalpable. What is impalpable? Something that is very difficult to touch. You cannot always go and touch the water vapors that are forming from the sky and going upwards. Out of the land and the bottomless sea. So from where are these vapors coming? They are coming from the land. There are so many water bodies all over the land and there is the sea also. The vast ocean also is there. So he's calling it as bottomless sea. You cannot measure the bottom so easily. So it's kind of a hyperbole. He's saying that it's a bottomless sea. That means it has huge amounts of water. So from all these places, forever I rise upwards. That means the water forms vapors and go upwards. Upward to heaven. So where is all this water molecules going or the water vapor going? It is going upward to the sky. So that is why he is saying as upward to the heaven. Whence vaguely formed. Whence here means where. Vaguely formed. What is vaguely formed? Vaguely means something that's not very clear. So they form different shapes as clouds in the sky. And you cannot, define the shape of a cloud. They are just vaguely formed in haphazard way. One shape or the other. Altogether changed yet the same. So the vapor of water vapors goes up, forms the clouds, and they're all there in the form of a cloud. The shape is changed, the form is changed, but everywhere it is the same. That means the water is water itself. It's not changed. Only the shape and the size or whatever has changed. So the water vapor goes up to the heaven, goes up to the sky and forms clouds in different shapes. They're all still the same. They're still water is water. It is only in the form of vapor or solid or liquid. Okay, so it goes up, forms clouds. I descend to leave the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. I descend. What is descent? Coming down. So after forming clouds, what happens? When they become heavy, they start falling down as rain. To lave the draughts. What is lave? Lave means to wash, to clean. Okay. The draughts. What's a draught? Area which is fully dry with no water at all. So the water comes down, it washes and cleans the dry areas, and also atomies. What are atomies? All the tiny particles, dust layers of the globe. So everything, wherever there is dust, all the tiny particles, all the dry area, everything is cleaned by the water that comes down as rain. So every part of the globe gets this rain. So that is what it is saying. I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. And all that in them without me were seeds, only latent, unborn. And so, what is the rain saying? Without me, everything on the globe were only seeds. They were latent. That means they were sleeping and unborn. What is unborn? The seeds did not germinate. So, he's saying the rain is saying that without water, the seeds were sleeping and the plants did not germinate. And forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. So forever, whether it is day or night, I give back life to my own origin. What is the meaning of this sentence? What is the origin of rain? It is the bottomless sea and the land, that is the globe. From the globe, only water is originating and moving towards the sky, and then again falling back to the globe itself. So that is why he is saying that the rain is telling that I give back life to my own origin. And what else it does? It purifies it and beautifies it. So the water is helping the globe to be purified by falling and cleaning, and then it also beautifies because beautiful plants and trees arise out of the with the help of the water. The seeds that were sleeping will be born, that is, will germinate and then become into beautiful plants, trees, and give nice flowers and fruits. So that is why the rain is telling, I give back life to my origin and make it pure and make it more beautiful. So water is necessary to support life, and it is also necessary to beautify the whole globe. So now let's move on to the next stanza. And you can see that this stanza is not in parenthesis. That means it is not the part of the conversation between the poet and the rain. So what is the poet trying to tell us? For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment wandering, wrecked or unwrecked duly with love returns. So here he's comparing rain to a poem. So what is the comparison? What is the similarity between the rain and the poem? Both of them have cycles. That means you know about the water cycle and how the rain is formed and all that. The rain arises from the bottomless sea or the land and goes up to the sky to form the clouds and again come back to the earth as rain. So there is a cycle. So in the same way, the poem, any poem or a song also has a cycle. So what is the cycle? Where is it originating? Where does it come from? The song or a poem is written by any poet. So that is the place of origin. And after writing the poem or song, what happens? It goes to the people. People come to hear about it or read about it, and then most of them appreciate it, some of them don't appreciate it. So that is what he's saying, wrecked or unwrecked. So wrecked means some damage is caused, unwrecked means no damage caused. So after reading the poem, the appreciation comes back to the poet. That means it returns with love to the poet. So you can see how there is a cycle for the poem also. So this is the similarity between the rain and the poem. So now you understood why the rain is calling itself as the poem of the earth. Because just like a poem, how it has a cycle, similarly the rain also has a cycle. It starts from its birthplace, goes up, comes down to its origin of life. So similarly, the poem also has a cycle. So that is why the rain is calling itself as the poem of earth. So this is the explanation given in these two lines. For song issuing from its birthplace. So a song is originating from its birthplace. That is the poet. When after he writes the poem or song, what happens? After fulfillment, that means after he completing it and reading it and feeling happy, he sends it out. That is wandering. It goes out to the people. It reaches the people and they read it and they wreck it or unwreck it. So they either appreciate it or they don't appreciate it. And anyway, whatever, everything comes back to him. All the appreciation comes back to the poet. of what he has written. So this cycle is compared to the cycle of the rain. So now that is why the rain is calling itself as the poem of the earth. Let's look at the difficult words used in the poem. Impalpable means something that is difficult to be touched or cannot be touched. Lave is to wash or to bathe. Atomies means tiny particles, and latent means to be hidden. So let's look at the poetic devices used in the poem. The first one is personification. In the whole poem, rain is personified because you can see the rain speaking everywhere. It has human characteristics. So what is the poet and the rain? What is the rain talking to the poet? It is saying, I am the poem of the earth. I descend to lave the droughts. I give back life. So these are some examples where rain is personified or where rain is talking. And second one is metaphor. Metaphor means comparison. So here what is it? Again, the poem is calling itself as poem of earth and it is calling itself as voice of the rain. So these are examples of metaphor. And next one is alliteration. What is alliteration? Repetitive sounds. So said I to the soft falling shower. The sir sound is repeated and whence vaguely formed. So were sound is repeated. So these are the poetic devices used in the poem. So I hope you liked today's video. Like, share and give your valuable comments below. Thank you for watching.